Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2. And I'm back with part 5 of What If Naruto Was Obsessed with Being Perfect. Remember to get this one too. 100 like as usual. Share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also guys, if you're new, yes, I indeed have 4 more channels which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. Anime King 3, Anime Prince, Anime Symbol. So if you want your what if to be done by me, simply go ahead and comment your ideas on any of the latest posts and I'll jot them down for future use. So without further ado or wasting any more time, how about we jump right into this brand new episode? Let us begin now guys. So, to do a bit of a recap for the last part we left off, his desire was to hurt her, to ensure that she would see him as an enemy. But even after he held the blade, Ino looked at him without an ounce of fear, knowing that he would never harm her. As he told her that as he stopped himself. Instead, he knocked her out though, as shadows erupted around them. The next moment she was gone. Asuma rushed in, trying to get her back. Kakashi as well, Kurenai. She tried to control Naruto's mind. However, we get to learn right there that all of this was him. That drawing. Ino, telling Kurenai about Naruto's habits of tracing with his finger. Naruto had plotted all of this out because he knew that if it was up to him, he would not give up the life that he currently had because everything was what he wanted. He desired them to hate him. He desired them to see him as the enemy so that he can make his move. Thus, he allowed this to happen. It was in that moment that Kurenai realized that he was playing them all. All this time it was him. As she realized within that moment just how outclassed all of them were. None of her mental attacks could work on him. She was confused. It was similar to what happened to his subordinates. Kakashi and the others tried to stop him, but every single one of them were repelled by Haku, Zabuza, and the Demon Brothers, who now possessed strength that was far greater than what they originally possessed. Naruto ventured off as he arrived to save Shikamaru, Kiba, and Sasuke, as they were going up against none other than the one-tailed Jinchuriki Gaara. It was easy for him to subdue Gaara. Afterwards, he made his way straight towards where Hiruzen lay. Naruto was able to undo the Death Reaper seal. He did it so easily, Orochimaru, Hiruzen, they were all shocked. Just how smart and capable Naruto really was. It was frightening on many levels just how special this child really was. As Naruto apologized to the Hokage, however his desire, his fate, was not in Konoha, and it was time that he left. Hiruzen tried to stop him, but just like before, Naruto was able to move without being touched. Some time passed as Ino finally woke up. She was locked away. On the table was Gaara. It was in that moment she saw Naruto, as she learned the full truth that he was the one. However, she talked to him. Yes, she talked to him, telling him that there must be another way. As he told her what he desired, the goal that he set for himself that he couldn't give up, she realized that His simple musing as a child had turned into an obsession, because unlike most of the other children, she knew everything about him. Whether it be the nine tails or whatever, she knew it all. So she understood that it put a real trauma on his psyche. And that goal that he set for himself became like an obsession, something he could not stop. She wanted to help him. Naruto got so angry even after everything she's seen. She made him promise that he didn't have to kill the people. He could get what he wanted without killing them even if it took longer. Naruto promised her, as she promised that she would stay with him to help him. At Konoha, as the council members discuss, them realizing that Naruto was a step ahead of them all. Hiruzen listening to what Kurenai said, as she made it rather clear that Naruto would never harm Ino. However, Inoichi, who was angry, realized that Ino was going to stay. She was going to try and help him. It's just the person that she was, especially the fact that it had to do with Naruto. She would stay. She would do her best to help him and pull him through this. And that was bad. It was days later when Naruto returned with the unconscious Gaara, as this would mend the fence between Konoha and the Sand. Hiruzen questioned him, as Naruto told him that he was not their enemy. However, while that was going on, two forces behind the scene were plotting, Danzo and Orochimaru. Naruto had become in the prime interest of everything they desire. So yeah guys, basically as we left off, you guys can switch across and please check the for yourselves to begin this new episode. Our story begins with Aiko Yamanaka. Aiko was smiling as she read the note. Despite the fact that she hasn't seen her daughter in the past 3 years, she smiled at the note that was written by her. She was angry. What mother wouldn't be? However, as she learned to simply accept the anger and release it, because it would not help or change anything. The anger was consuming her husband. She has to stand strong. He was fixated on finding and killing Naruto. However, after 2 weeks, these letters start to arrive. How? They still did not know. But they were written by Ino. She spoke nothing but highly of Naruto, saying that he was making sure that she was safe, and she was doing her best to help him. They could not write anything back because there was nothing to send it back to. But Aiko has met Naruto on several occasions. She didn't know what drove him down this path or why he was doing this, but she was sure about one thing though. He would never harm or allow anything to happen to Ino. While she was concerned on a daily basis, these letters brought her comfort. Her husband and others were finding it very difficult to simply accept this though. But she realized some time ago that there was nothing that they could do. It's been 3 years, and aside from the letters, they had no way of knowing anything about what was going on. The letters did not really give anything away either. Ino simply told them how she was doing and told them not to worry that much. However, she was a mother, and she would worry no matter what. Meanwhile, at the tower, Hiruzen Sarutobi was no longer the Hokage. There she sat. Her name was Tsunade Senju. It took a lot to bring her back to the village, but here she was, ruling as the 5th Hokage. Hiruzen was still alive and kicking. He's gotten older in the past 3 years, but he was still up there, now serving as her advisor and an elder of the village, as one of the only surviving Hokages who gave up the position. A lot has happened in the past 3 years that went by. It took a lot to convince Tsunade to return. However, she returned. Not only did she start her medical program, but she found a gifted young girl that she was turning into a second pupil, as she was following her traits to a T. She has lost a lot when it came to her team. Her name was Sakura Haruno. First, someone that she thought she could trust. But he abandoned the village and kidnapped her best friend, as much as they argue. And then, it did not take too long after that, Sasuke Uchiha fled the village. A team was sent out to retrieve him, but they failed, as he crossed the border and he hasn't been seen since, now under Orochimaru control. But the one that worried her the most was Naruto. She read the reports, majority of them written down by Kunai, who realized that they were all being played in the beginning. The boy was smart. He was a genius that genius would look up to. He was something indeed special. However, whatever he desired was something dangerous. But the fact that he still possessed empathy was something that was good. But how long would they be able to count on that? The letters that he sent were all skimmed through to make sure that there was any clues they will find it, but there was nothing to give away. Perhaps he stood beside her as she wrote the letters, but from what Kunai said, and from what Inoichi believed, his daughter is trying to help Naruto so she would not give away his position. She would actually try to save him. The problem was, in the past 3 years, a lot has been happening. Countless people have been kidnapped and yet they've returned. Jiraiya was following the stories closely, and it was his MO. He's been kidnapping people, but he's been returning them. Perhaps Ino was a good positive reinforcement on him, and that was good. However, what does he seek so desperately for him to do this? That was the question, and none of them knew about what it was. She remembered that he came to her. This was months before she had taken the position. Flashback. It was another night of drinking. Tsunade was deep within her liquor. Shizune had went out, along with Tonton, so she was alone. She lay in the bar, her head low. They were used to her, so they did not really kick her out or ask her to leave. However, she felt the person enter. As deep in the liquor as she was able to react. She jumped out of the way. Something hit the wall. She tried to turn and face it, but something hit her. She was surprised. Whatever this was, it was fast. The next moment, she felt something. Being the best medical ninja in the world, someone that had chakra control down to a T, she felt the disturbance in her chakra. Something happened, but she could not find the object that hit the wall or the one that hit her. She was confused until she looked up and saw him. It was a brat. "Pretty brave of you, kid," she said, "to attack someone like me." "I mean you no harm," he said to her. "Tsunade Senju," he said. She looked at him. "You speak my name like we're familiars." "We're not. But you will know of me soon enough. I am Naruto Uzumaki," he said. "Thank you." With that, he left. She went after him, but by the time she reached outside, he was nowhere to be seen. End of flashback. That was the only time she met him. He took something from her. Her chakra, perhaps. She had felt the disturbance, but what did he use? That still confused her. Him returning the Kazekage's son. It helped the relationship between the two villages. The San was apologetic for their actions. Over time, Konoha learned to trust them again. Something happened to the Kazekage's son. Everyone spoke about his great change. After all, right now he was their leader. At the Sand Village, Gaara sat in his office. He had no idea why, but that day, it ran on his mind. Flashback. He did not know what happened, but he did know one thing: he was bested, and then he was brought back home. Hate and anger coursing through him still. As the days flew by, He heard from others what happened at Konoha, but he did not care. He wanted to end the one that knocked him out. That was until one night as he roamed through the streets, with his father being dead and the village being weakened. A lot was happening right now, but he did not care for most of it. Hello there. Gaara stiffened as he seemingly froze up. He turned. It's you. There was no hesitation. His sand shot out to swallow Naruto, but he was gone. Naruto appeared behind him. Gaara released more sand, but each of his strikes missed. Stay still and die, he said. I'm not here to fight, Naruto said as he slammed his hand in his stomach. Catching Gaara off guard, Gaara didn't understand. Was he teleporting? He dropped to his knees, feeling his power gone. What did you do? A simple seal, said Naruto. Given how messed up your Jinchuriki seal is, I can shut your chakra off by shutting it off, said Naruto. As I said, I'm not here to fight. I was the one that brought you back. The moment I'm free, Mother will taste your blood, Gaara said. Aren't you tired, said Naruto. What? The hate, the anger. Gaara struggled as he tried to break free, but it was useless. While Naruto might call it a simple seal, to him it was simple, to others it was complex. While I had you, I learned about your life. Tell me, how were you able to do it? Do what, Gaara said, realizing that it was pointless. To shut yourself off. To turn everyone into your enemy. To think of anyone as a fiend, someone that wants to control you. What? As from what I can see, Temari and Kankuro, they do love you. They're simply afraid. Right now, someone loves me too much, and she doesn't want to let me go. And right now it's a struggle, because her love is stopping me from achieving my goals quickly. As I realize that without connections, without people to be there by your side, you have nothing. And you will be nothing without those connections. So tell me, how were you able to do it? To cut everyone off, I would like to know. Gaara looked up, calmer than before. Tell me, how do you know these things about me? I have my ways of entering people's minds, said Naruto. Now tell me, how can you forsake the ones that love you, knowing that eventually you will have nothing and no one, and you will be alone if you don't open up? Having people makes you weak, Gaara said. I suppose you're right. It's the knowing that they can stop you from doing what you desire, but at the same time, it's hard to fight them off. It's hard to say that you want nothing to do with them. How do you do that? How do you forsake your brother and sister, knowing that they care for you, that they're willing to help you, but you leave no room for them to do so? Tell me, how can you be heartless? How can you be the monster that you are? It's not just about the pain, right? It has to be something else, something mental, emotional. Naruto was simply asking because he desired the answer, but it caused Gaara to reflect. As Naruto saw that, we're alike. I'm a Jinchuriki as well. But there's a person in my life that refuses to give up on me. She's trying to make me better, but I don't want that. Gaara looked up towards him. She makes you weak. On the contrary, she doesn't. She's just delaying the end. But even though it's a delay, it will still happen. But a part of me starts to wonder if I do what I do to be strong enough to make sure that people like her are safe. Because when you're alone, your mind tends to drift. showing you that you have no one. Gaara hung his head, thinking about Temari and Kankuro, that they've always been there no matter what. And with the seal currently on him, his mind was free from the ramblings of Shikaku. He looked up towards the sky. I don't know. What, said Naruto? I don't know anymore, said Gaara. He looked around. I went my entire life believing that people makes you weak. How can you and I be the same? And yet, your life is so different than mine, he said, looking at Naruto for answers now. Perhaps the both of us doesn't have the answers that either seeks, said Naruto. Naruto placed his hand on Gaara's stomach and turned it. Gaara felt a pain for about 3 seconds before it relented. What did you do? Naruto turned his back. Gaara's hand shot out and grabbed him. I said, what did you do? Naruto did not fight as Gaara pulled him close. You can no longer hear the words in your mind. Your seal was broken. I fixed it. I came here to do so if you give me the answer that I desired, but I didn't, said Gaara. Then why? Maybe it's because of all the bad stuff I've done. Maybe some of the goodness would even it out, said Naruto. Perhaps I can't find a way, but you can. I can't stop myself, but you can change yourself. Gaara's hand slowly dissipated, releasing Naruto. For the first time, he felt like he was truly in control of his own actions. No whispers, no sounds, nothing at all. Naruto left that night, disappointed. He just turned and left. Gaara, reveling in the idea of finally being free, finally being under control, not knowing the precise details of what was done. That moment changed everything for him. It set him on his path to becoming the leader that he is now. Back to the present time, things were going well until Gaara turned his head and saw a bird. But there was no bird like that in his village. Boom! An explosion tore through the side of the tower. Chaos erupted. Meanwhile that was going on, Ino Yamanaka was running a brush through her hair. She had grown in the past 3 years, only turning more beautiful. She was now 16 years old. She was currently within a house. A lot happened in the past 3 years. So much. Whatever she asks, he got it for her. She didn't want to live in a cell. She wanted to train. She wanted stuff from her own clan to, master her mind transfer jutsu. How he was capable of sneaking in and out without being noticed was something that still surprised her. She'd also made friends over the years, mostly with Haku, even though they were so-called dead, which freaked her out at first. But alive by Naruto's will, he promised that he would revive them after he was finished. A lot of the people that he brought here, he let them go once he was done. He took aspects of their chakra. The house that she was in was always guarded, as they were far away from most of the hustle and bustle of the elemental nation. But the house was always guarded and protected. Naruto has gained several other, subordinates. They wore masks, except for Haku, who was mostly within the company of Ino. As for Naruto, he was here most times. She'd made herself a wonderful home here, even learning how to cook, getting recipes, even cooking for him. Even when it was bad, he pretended like it was good. Here she was playing house despite knowing that something was severely wrong. Even though she was able to write to her parents that everything was alright, she could see it day by day. The coughing, the weakness. Something was wrong with him. but it was something that he was blowing off, telling her that he would be fine, while this house was mostly free. She was told to never enter to the basement. She trusted him because he had stuck to his word and not killed anyone. He let her in on most of his work, but not all of it. Most of it she can't even understand. He's splicing and rearranging chakra in ways that shouldn't be possible. She was now rooting for him because she could see that his health was declining. As Naruto's skin was getting paler by the day, she knew that he was sick. What kind of sickness, he wouldn't say. She had noticed the coughing, the long pauses as he tried to work his mind out of a fog, like his mind was drifting through fog. But it was something that he was not telling her, because in his own way he was trying not to worry her, but he told her that he was going to be alright. If there was anything that she did, she trusted him, because he kept to his words no matter what. Right now he was gone. Whenever he went on his long trips, Ino trusted him not to do anything bad. He took what he needed. He didn't have to kill. He didn't have to become an enemy of the world. However, when he was gone for this long, not even Haku could contact him, whatever he was doing. Their connection was shaky at best, not in terms of order and, well, carrying it out, but the connection between them that kept Haku alive. At the moment, Haku sat. He had no need to eat, not in the slightest. Ino was good at many things, yes she was. However, she liked to stray away from the recipe. While she could cook when it came to an exact recipe, she wanted to create a different kind of ramen for Naruto, knowing that was his favorite. However, she took a bad turn, despite Haku being unable to be killed in this form. He almost died, making her wonder, was it so bad? She turned her gaze as she heard it. Every now and again there was sounds emanating from the basement. She did her best to turn away, to listen what Naruto said. He trusted her and she trusted him. And while she was here, she kept him in check. She kept him on the straight path, knowing that whatever he was doing was still something that others would frown upon, or even lock him away for. She was keeping him on the good side. She was doing her best. Haku placed a hand on her shoulder. It's gonna be alright. You don't have to worry that much. He made you a promise, and you know more than anyone else that he would keep that promise. She nodded, guessing that he was right. However, it was a day later when one of them came. He was wearing that white mask. His body was cloaked in a black cloak, not showing his arms or legs, almost like he was a spirit from the underworld. He reported something to Haku. Ino could tell that something was wrong. What is it? Haku hesitated for a moment but told her. The Kazekage, Gaara. He's been captured. Ino blinked, surprised that they were keeping tabs on him. However, Naruto had told her about the organization that was hunting Jinchurikis. However, Ino did notice that there was something else at play here. What is it? What's different about him? Naruto-sama has found an interest in Gaara. Perhaps it's because of their similarities. Or it's an answer that he seeks from him. What answer? Ino questioned. I'm afraid I don't know. But it's something I heard him mumbling a few times. I don't believe that he desires Gaara to die. Then you have to call him back. You know I can't. Haku said. Then you go then. I can't do that either. What? You said you can't allow him to die, why not go? Because I cannot leave your side. It is my sole duty to keep you safe no matter what. It doesn't matter the condition I end up in. I physically cannot leave your side. When it comes to my protection of you, Haku said, as she knew that wasn't something that he could fight against. She ran to the doors. She threw them open as two guards were there. She could not see them, but she knew they were there. "Where are you two?" she said. In an instant they appeared. The only thing that she could see within the darkness was their masks. "You have to go and help Gaara." "Your master," she said. "Naruto cares a lot about him. Go and help him." "I'm afraid that won't work," Haku said, walking up. "They're only going to take orders from him. Or, if you're in danger. Otherwise, they will not respond. Not in the slightest." Ino looked towards him. "These others, they're not like you. Who are they?" "What are they?" Haku looked towards the both of them. The empty coal looked behind the mask. "They're not human," he said. Ino took a step back. She did not fear her safety, but if Naruto was trying to save someone that was similar to him, it was a stepping stone to his recovery, to breaking his obsession. She had gotten all her father's books. She's been using mental manipulation in a way to help Naruto overcome his trauma, his stress. What put him in this position to become so obsessed with becoming a god and being perfect? It was all linked to his trauma. But if his interest was to save someone similar to him, he will understand that also he could be saved as well. Unfortunately though, she had no way of contacting him now. As the day passed, she became more tense and more worried. This was bad. She had talked to him about the Jinjulikis, exactly what they were, as the removal of the tail beast would kill them. But a process like that was not easy. Another day passed. She made her decision. She knew that Naruto would come back if she was in danger. Severe danger. Not to mention, he could heal her. As Haku was sitting down, trying to calm her, she moved towards the kitchen. Ino did not hesitate if it meant saving him. She dried the kitchen knife in her own stomach. Haku grabbed her before she could fall to the ground. The door burst open as the other two enter inside. "Get him back here," she said. The moment she said that, their shadows twisted and turned, as it seemed like a physical pull. Naruto crawled out of it and emerged. He's grown over the past couple of years. His hair was longer, but it was changing from its lush golden color to a white pale color. His skin was paler. If anything, he looked more dark, dangerous. Naruto moved towards her instantly. "What did you do?" he said. "I needed to get you back here," she said to him. He pulled out the knife without hesitation as he placed his hand over the wound. Slowly, you could see the damage being reversed. She watched, aware that he could do this. She was back on her feet. He was upset. "Before you say anything else," she said, stopping him in the process, "it's the only way to get you back because they wouldn't have called you." "I was busy," said Naruto. "I told you I cannot respond while I'm doing what I do when I'm away, but you came to me," she said. "If you're in danger, nothing would stop me from reaching you. Not even the heavens themselves," he said. He was merely stating a fact. But on the inside she felt a warmth in her chest hearing that. "Why did you do this?" "It's Gaara." Haku spoke up. The Akatsuki made their move. "Why would this be your concern?" Naruto said to her. "He's your friend." "I would hardly say that he's a friend. He's someone that you feel connected to. And he will die if you don't do something. Please, we have to help him." "What do you mean we?" "I'm coming with you," she said. "What?" "You don't think I spent the last couple of years training for nothing? I've trained and practiced with your friends here. I can hold my own. I'm coming with you. You know I could easily lock you up, right? Yes, but you won't. Other than protecting me, you've tried your best not to take my free will away. And I want to help you. I don't know why you keep hiding the fact that you're sick. You have your subordinates to help you, yes, but I can be a helping hand as well. Please, just let me try, she said. I can be useful in that way. Against a threat of unknown origins, my mind transfer jutsu will be very useful. I have to do something, she said. Besides, if you do achieve your goals, I will have to learn how to protect myself. After all, by all indication, you're going to leave, she said, as she looked away. There it was, her playing on that part of him that was still connected by his emotions. However, she was doing this because she wanted to help him. She wanted to show him that he didn't have to be alone all the time, that he can rely on others, not just her, that he can break this obsession with the help of friends, family. She was strong by his side, but his compulsion was much too great for her. She tried over the past couple of years, but it was greater than she ever thought. Alright, said Naruto. Get ready. She nodded as she packed her stuff. Haku turned towards him. Are you sure that this is wise? Konoha will no doubt make their move towards helping Gaara as well. Haku looked towards him. Are you going to? That's not important, said Naruto. Ino arrived. Let's go. Teleportation to vast distances. It was like moving through shadows. The connection through the shadow that Naruto crawled from. By the time they arrived, they were surrounded by several others. Their hands and feet not visible. They were floating off the ground. Their masses were different, some shaping like animal, while others had strange insignias on it. Ino also saw there was a seal on their chest area as the breeze blew their cloak. But despite some of their figures looking like female and male, their skin was not normal. It was gray, almost green in a way. The moment they arrived, one of the kunoichis along with them turned their gaze. She pointed towards the water country between the land of wind. As she picked up on them, they moved through the shadows once again, making their way. By the time they arrived, they came across a rather, great scene. Might Guy and his team was facing off against copies of themselves. What's going on? Ino said confused as she watched. A clone mimicking seal, said Naruto. Cass, to make the user fight themselves when broken. Can you stop it, she said. Naruto turned towards one of his subordinates, who stepped forward and went through hand sign. A massive barrier erupted, covering the entire field. The next moment, the clones all came to a stop. Guy-sensei, said Lee. The clone me stop. Me too, said Neji. Me as well, said Tenten. They were confused. It seems that the seal is broken, said Guy. Quickly, let's assist the others. They moved through the foliage as Naruto and Ino followed behind. Making their way, they arrived to see. It was none other than Deidara. He was taunting them, carrying the corpse of Gaara as he rained bomb down on her remaining team. Choji, Shikamaru, they've grown, she thought with a smile. They were accompanied with Team 7, adding for the extra 2 members, Kakashi leading them. It was Team 7. Mostly her team. 2, so you can count it as half and half. Along with Team Guy as well. Luckily, Guy and his team arrived. Tenten did not hesitate to rain weapons down on Deidara in the sky. However, his maneuver with his bird was quick. He twists and turned, laughing as he did. He was mocking them. Guy wouldn't allow it to stand though. He blazed through the sky by leaping. However, Deidara went straight upwards. But it was a distraction. Lee landed as Guy threw him upwards, his speed surpassing the bird. He twists. Leaf whirlwind, he said, picking up a massive gust, throwing the bird off course. The next moment though, a blade removed its legs, taking the dead body of Gaara. They were confused by this new arrival. Kakashi, who was outside, he was there with Shikamaru as Chiyo and Sakura were inside with Choji. The newcomer landed, holding the body of Gaara. Deidara landed on an owl. The next moment, he stiffened as Ino take control of his mind, aiming to crush him right in the ground. However, there was no need. Naruto stood on the owl, confusing her. How could he be so sickly and yet? This wasn't teleportation, he did not move through the shadows. This was speed. His hand rested on Deidara's back. Not only did he force her back to her own body, but Deidara was bind in mid-air. As they fell, both of them were caught by a much larger member on Naruto's squad. As he crashed down, the sound of chaos could be heard from the inside. Some strange, abnormal sounds. Kakashi snapped his head towards the scene when Sakura jumped away, believing it to be a new enemy. Choji and Lady Chiyo as well. However, walking out was 5 of Naruto's people. They did not walk because it did not seem like they had legs. It was like they were gliding on the ground. They came to a stop, one of them holding the heart of Sasori. Ino now back to her body, looked towards Naruto who stood beside her. She blinked. Wait, that's not you? It shape-shifted back into one of his subordinates. Why did it take the form of him she did not know? How was it able to force me out of the mind transfer jutsu? Why did it transform into you? She said, confused. This is no time for a question, Naruto said. Look, as he pointed toward the teams that noticed them. Ino, Choji shouted out, as everyone paused in shock and surprise. Sakura couldn't believe it. After all these years, Guy and his team moved in as well. Kakashi blinked. Naruto, is that really you? Choji moved in, but it was Kakashi that stopped him. Watching as they were all surrounded by these strange figures cloaked in black cloaks. Kakashi felt something off about them. However, there was a much bigger issue here. Sasori was defeated. Sasori, the so-called S-rank ninja, was defeated that quickly. What happened in there? Judging by Sakura and Lady Chiyo's reaction, they must know something. Kakashi made eye contact with Guy, signaling to him. Guy understood immediately. As he looked towards his team, Kakashi approached. It's good to see you, Naruto, he said. It's been a long time. Yes, but I'm afraid that we don't have enough time. For what, said Kakashi? To save the Kazekage. I'm afraid he's already dead. Kakashi responded. Yes, but I can still save him, Naruto said, stepping forward. Ino walking beside him. She smiled toward Shikamaru and Choji. She was alright. Shikamaru knelt down. As Kakashi spoke, how were you going to save him? Shikamaru understood. There was no question about returning, no forceful movements. He saw the look in that one eye of the copy ninja. He understood. So did Guy as well. They knew how they were playing this, how they were going to play him, knowing how smart he was. I can save him, but not if I'm attacked, said Naruto. Is that understood? Kakashi nodded. If it means saving the Kazekage, by all means. I don't see how you're going to do that though. He's already passed. Naruto stepped forward, Ino right behind. As Naruto moved in, Kakashi gave Shikamaru a look to wait, not yet, as he eyed every single one of the cloaked figures surrounding them. Sakura wanted to say something but the look from her sensei quieted her. Naruto grabbed the body of Deidara as he could not move. He pulled something out, a long scroll. He cut his finger before he sliced Gaara's finger as well and Deidara's finger. The three blood dripped into the scroll. He connected peace to each of them. Everyone watched. Not only did the atmosphere became tense and thick, a chilling sensation ran through all of them. Naruto reached behind him and pulled out a mask as he donned it on his face. It was a strange mask with horns. The eye holes were so slim you could not even see his eyes. He went through at least 25 hand signs. As one of the larger ones flipped Deidara over, Kakashi noticed that Naruto was frail. He seemed weak. The massive guy shoved his hand into Deidara's chest, shocking all of them, as he seemed to grip his beating heart. What followed though was him doing the same to Gaara. As he lifted his head, the mask on his face cracking. The next moment he pulled his hand out of each. As Naruto rested his hand on the large guy's chest, the mask started to fix itself, the pieces chipping back together. Naruto then reached up and removed the mask that he was wearing. Gaara's complexion started to even out. His chest started to rise. The scroll between them burned in flames, and Deidara could no longer draw any breath. Shikamaru was given the okay. As Kakashi saw it, his shadow stretched to all of the nearby masked figures, connecting to theirs. Guy dashed forward. Choji enlarged himself and smashed his hand in the ground, kicking up dust and smoke. Guy grabbed Ino and jumped away. Kakashi pushed through the smoke, but Naruto hadn't moved, not in the slightest, as the breath was drawn into Gaara's lungs. Gaara opened his eyes, confused. He looked around. He could feel the process. He could feel the life being sucked out of him. So how? Lady Chiyo stood there shocked. This art. She knew this art, she'd seen it before. But not on this scale. It was Fuinjutsu alright, but not just any normal Fuinjutsu. Back when she was younger, that clan. The clan of savages. The Uzumakis. This boy. This power. Different, ancient, terrifying. Guy landed beside the others. Ino, it's okay now. You're safe, said Choji. Shikamaru looked towards Naruto, who still hadn't moved, concerned about that, as he still recalled Naruto saving all of them when Gaara was about to kill them in the forest. When he went berserk, his actions didn't make sense. He could have waited and then took Gaara by surprise, but no. He intervened and saved them, especially saving Kiba. However, he could tell that something was wrong immediately. She pulled away. You can't, she said. It was her attitude. She wasn't worried. She wasn't concerned. She was okay. More than okay. They've spoken about this on several occasions. That due to the closeness that they once shared, that Ino might connect to Naruto in a different way than they think. That despite her being his prisoner, she might come to see him as someone that she deeply cared for. because they've always been best friends, even from the beginning. Over to the other side. You saved me, said Gaara. Naruto helped him up. I never got the answer that I desired. Answer, said Gaara. Yes. How you did it? I guess I did not. I was just telling myself that I did. Because once you spoke to me, I started to see where I was wrong. And now, I have people that will care if I'm alive or dead, and happy to see me return alive. So we cannot completely cut our ties. No, I don't think so. There will always be something, Gaara said. Well, I suppose that is an answer, said Naruto. So, how am I breathing, Gaara said. I was sure that I was dead. A sacrifice for another. A life for a life. He said, looking down towards Deidara. His life was useful. You killed him to bring me back. Yes, that's the basis of it, said Naruto. No need to worry about the small details. Gaara immediately noticed. You're sick, aren't you? What? I can tell. Your features. You've aged poorly. Well, that's not something people like to hear, said Naruto. It's not just your features. You're dying, said Gaara. He had seen Naruto a few years back. Gaara could see it, his skin looked thin. His hair seemed to be stretching out. His complexion pale. Kakashi. He was reading their conversation with his eyes. Despite the distance that he created between them, as he's sure that he saw something. It was Naruto's frailness, and he was correct. Gaara tried to move, but he stumbled. It's gonna take a while for your strength to be fully restored. He said, helping to the ground. Now I have to go. So you came here just to save me, said Naruto. Perhaps I just came for the answer. Or perhaps you wanted something more, Gaara said. Someone to tell you otherwise. Someone to give you another reason. Gaara said, gazing towards Ino. I've heard about what you did. After you visit me that night, I went to great lengths to learn everything. Speaking to your new leader at the village. I might not know your goal, but you still have a chance. The mere fact that you came here to save me is a clear sign that you're reaching out for help, and you can get it. Naruto looked towards him, but said nothing. He stepped towards Ino. However, the others seemed to want to make a fuss. It's okay. She said, looking towards Shikamaru and the others. No, it's not. We just got you back. We're not gonna let you go. You're not letting her do anything, said Naruto. I brought you here. I told myself that I was going to leave you behind, said Naruto, as he looked at Ino. You were? Yes. I've told myself that, despite how good the past 3 years were, having someone by my side, it was hell for you. And I hated that. I hated the feeling that gave me. I despised it. But now, I want you to return with me. Maybe I'm being selfish, said Naruto. But I want you by my side until I'm finished. You're not. It's okay. I want to return. You don't have to fight them, she said. Kakashi stepped up along with Guy. I'm afraid we can't do that. Our orders was always to bring you in, Naruto. Kakashi said. Give yourself up. As the Kazekage said, you're dying. Ino bit down hard as she heard those words. The part that she's been fooling herself. She knew. Maybe that was the main reason why she was pushing for him to become perfect, knowing that he would surpass death itself. After all, he just revived someone. Yes, he killed someone to do it, but the Akatsuki, they killed Gaara. A life for a life. Ino told herself they deserved it, right? But the part that she was afraid was Naruto's soul. Chipping away like that. Him being, well, emotionless, rootless. But now she knew. She always knew, but as she looked at him, it was bad. Very, very so. The problem was Naruto never admitted, not even once. Naruto looked at everyone, seeing their reaction to learning that he was dying, as they say. I'm afraid it's not an option I'm giving any of you to bring me in or take her away. Shikamaru and Choji stepped forward, protecting Ino. Their desire clear. Don't do this, Naruto, Sakura said. We can still return. Things can still get back to normal. Please, she begged, trying to see the better in all of this. Stop this, Ino said. I'm going with him. She tried to push past them, but Kakashi chopped her in the back of the neck, grabbing her as he did. Guy gazed towards Lee, who understood. Lee moved and grabbed Ino. He pushed off with all of his speed, making his way, getting her to safety. As Gaara tried to stop them, but he was much too weak to do so. They surrounded Naruto, their eyes focused on the Shadow Warriors, who had yet to move or even make a sound. However, judging from what happened inside of that cave, defeating these guys are not going to be easy. They would have to use their mind, as Shikamaru started to plot out a strategy that would help them. Until Naruto spoke. There is no brain power that will help you here, he said. The Shadow Warriors, as their namesake, their body melted into the ground. All of them moving like shadows, rushing into Naruto's shadow. The masses, they crawl up his arm, shrinking as they did, as they fuse into one singular mass. What the hell? All of them said at once. But guys, be and subscribe right here. If you want to see the next part, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. But I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace.